ESBR Boxing, delighted to be joined by Danny. This video, we are looking at Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith, or should I say Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank Jr., the rematch this Saturday night. I'm sure you'll be there, Danny. And this is all about the betting. We're looking for value here in terms of betting odds. Had a quick glance myself. I'm sure you have too, Danny. First and foremost, let me know how you are. Are you looking forward to the fight? And then go straight in if you want to give me your first betting tip.
Yeah, mate, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing for the whole fight week. I will be going to quite a few of the events and then the fight on Saturday. And the first fight was great. It was the best atmosphere I've probably experienced at a boxing event. And it didn't hurt that I had Smith KO at 7-1. So it was a good night. Hoping for a repeat on both fronts this week, but I'm really looking forward to it. And like the tagline for this fight has been repeat the revenge, and I'm struggling to see anything other than a similar outcome, Liam Smith win and a Liam Smith stoppage, which you can get at like 6-4, 13-8. I think that's a really good price, really good one for accumulators. Even Smith to win the fight at 4-6, I don't think it's a bad price if you think Eubank's chin still has something left, again, for your accumulators. But I think Smith to win by KO, like, the whole thing about, would he be able to stop Eubank and stuff, that's all been put to bed. And Eubank getting on his career now, you question the weight. And the fact that everything about this fight's the same, it's the same weight. So I can't see a reason his punch resistance will be any better. And yeah, I think 6-4, 13-8 is a fairly good price on that.
Yeah, interesting, mate. Very interesting. I think actually seen a boost on Sky. We're doing it 7-4 for Smith by
7-4.
knockout or technical knockout. So there's a wee boost on that. And mate, I can't disagree with anything you've mentioned there. To be honest with you, just like how often do rematches go the same way? It always happens. Probably happens more than people getting revenge in rematches, for a few occasions. But completely see where you're coming from. But for me, I don't know what it is. I think that Eubank's tactics in the first fight, I think because he had a good third round, he thought, right, I can take Smith out of there now. Whereas Smith didn't really throw anything in the third round, and in the aftermath has said that he kind of let Eubank have that round, and but then go for it himself in the fourth, which we saw, and ultimately led to the stoppage. I don't think Eubank will be as wild and gung ho. Obviously, his style kind of is showboaty and has his hands low and everything like that. But he'll know now. Oh shit! I can't be stopped here again, or my career is over, basically. So I think both men will be more tentative, so to speak, and can actually see it going late. I'm like you, mate. I think just judging by the first fight and pre first fight, everyone knew Liam Smith was a better boxer than Chris Eubank Jr. The fundamentals, the technique, and everything was just more sound, which makes me lean towards a Liam Smith decision, which you can get at a price of 3-1. So obviously, the bookies are definitely favouring the knockout here. But for me, I can see this potentially going late. I can see Eubank picking up rounds, but for me, I'm just gonna. I like the value in a Liam Smith decision. To be quite honest with you, the other thing I kind of wanted to ask you, and kind of linking into the betting odds and the price. I'm seeing odds at 4-1 for a Eubank stoppage. He's obviously teamed up with Brian McIntyre Bomac. He's obviously Terence Crawford's trainer. Terence Crawford is on a mad knockout streak, big knockout run. Do you think that the effect of Bomac in the corner, do you think he'll be, wanting Eubank to go for the stoppage more? Or do you think that won't make a difference at all? If Eubank is to win, do you think the knockout's the more likely outcome or decision?
It's an interesting question. Like, he's only been with Bomac for 4.5 weeks, so how much effect that can really have on improving him as a fighter, you would imagine not much. Maybe he can help formulate a game plan for him, but like, not to be disrespectful towards Bomac or anything, how much Liam Smith do you think he's really watched? And is he going to be as invested in this fight to the same extent he was Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence? Again, I would imagine not. So I don't put too much credence into that. I struggle. I really do struggle to see a route to victory for Eubank in this fight. I've got to be honest. I think his best chance is success early on and maybe catching Smith cold. because like that's the thing about Smith. Smith is known as a slow starter and gets better as the fight goes on. And I think Eubank's best bet is maybe to build on success if he does have any early, and maybe try and overwhelm Smith. But I really do struggle to see it.
I agree, and we know like Smith obviously he's been beaten three times. Well, technically two. One of them was a bit of a dodgy decision, but the only person to stop him was Canelo to the body, which was late on.
Mm.
Yeah, I know that was at 154 obviously at the time, but you'd still have Canelo down. There's probably a bigger puncher than Eubank. So can Eubank stop him? Remains to be seen. Um, the only other thing I wanted to ask you, just because it's kind of a talking point, and Eubank is adamant in his head that it was an elbow that caused the caused the knockout. Obviously, he said on the gloves are off there that they've done that. Anytime he's been rocked with a punch, it's like white for a split second, then he's back to normal. But he said he was like all over the show, and which makes him believe that it was 110% an elbow. Do you think that? Do you think that you're edging towards the Smith stoppage because are you in a roundabout way saying that you think Eubank's punch resistance is gone definitely at middleweight anyway?
I don't know about gone, but I don't think he's a good enough boxer technically to stop Smith getting to him. I didn't think that the first fight. I've never been impressed by this version of Eubank as like a back foot boxer, like the pound shop Roy Jones. People have always called him, and I don't think he has it in him to fight the way he used to fight. He fights in short bursts, especially at the weight. I think his only option is to box like that, and I think. Whilst the elbow may have played a part 100%. I think he was hurt before that, but that elbow did land, and 100% it could have played a part. But it was the way Smith was able to like back him up, feint him, and then counter him so easily after 4 rounds. Like I think it's inevitable that Smith will be able to do that again at some point in the fight, and maybe it'll be more of an accumulation, a slow breakdown this time, but. And maybe there'll be more body work in there. I know Smith referenced that he had got information or based on previous spars that Eubank was vulnerable to the body, but I really struggle to see any other outcome, to be honest.
Fair enough. Well, obviously we're in agreement with who's going to win, but in terms of our outcome, we're both one of us is going decision, one of us is going knockout. So what remains to be seen. Just finally, Danny, before we finished up, you're back in the stoppage here for Liam Smith. And I kind of had to ask you a rough round range of 3 or 4 rounds. When do you see it happening?
See, I'm sort of torn on. I'm maybe 50-50 on whether it'll be early or late. But if I was doing a bet, I mean, Smith in rounds 1 to 6 is 5-1. Like, I think that's big, to be honest. Like, as we say, rematches often look quite similar to the first fight, and you're getting an extra 2.5 rounds there. So I'm sort of torn on whether it will be a sort of like quick blowout as we sort of saw first time round, or whether you're slowly break them down. But if I was having a bet, that's what it would be on the 1 to 6 at 5-1.
Yeah, interesting. 1 to 6 I'm seeing here as well is 11-2. So you might even get 6-1 in some places, but yeah,
Yeah,
pretty good value, definitely. Danny, appreciate your time as always, mate. It's been interesting. Hopefully one of us, if we're betting or wins a bet this weekend, I won't be having I won't be having a bet on it. I won't be backing it. So for your sake, if you are, hope the knockout comes in. But yeah, an interesting fight, and who knows, we could be looking daft here. Next week if Eubank does pull off what I would say is an upset and gets revenge over Liam Smith. But yes, be sure to check out all the rest of our content, guys, in the channel and looking at this fight. As Danny said, he'll be there. Press conference, weigh in, fight night. So we'll have loads of content coming from Manchester this week for your Eubank Smith 2 fight week and all the rest of the stuff on the channel as well. Danny, thanks very much for your time, mate, and I'll speak to you again soon.
nice one, Paul. Cheers.